What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the 53rd episode of the Next Man Up podcast. Coming back at y'all with another NFL video, episode. All NFL, no basketball, but we'll be mixing stuff in soon. Once the NBA starts, we'll have both topics going on in each episode. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. All the socials are at the top. You have no excuse, man. We say this every episode. Just get it done, man. Get it done. But just to hop into it. Bills dominate the Dolphins. I know a lot of people are a lot of people are trying to get on me about my Tua take, and I feel like it's gonna come in this little section. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready for all the smoke. Q, I want to start with you because I know the Bills. You like Josh Allen and all that. So
The issue I have is all off season, people tried to write the Bills off as if they haven't won 13 games in 3 of the last seasons. All turnover aside, they still won 13 games. To think that a team that did not upgrade substantially at all would be better than them was weird to me. It was I guess the playoffs left a bad taste in everybody's mouth that it was like, all right, the Bills ain't it no more. They're trying to find the next best thing. These small like little upgrades outside of the Jets because they got a quarterback shouldn't have made anybody feel like the Bills are just trash. They brought back the same roster that was dominating the division for years. I get the new shiny toy thing is like that's everybody's favorite thing, but Josh Allen's still the best quarterback in the division. When it comes down to like rosters and everything, almost all the rosters are pretty much comparable. The deciding factor should be quarterback, and Josh Allen is the best quarterback by far in the division. I don't like you saw them put up 70 points on the Denver Broncos. We know that their defense is trash. Like we know that. So to think they was going to transfer that and do that same thing to the Bills or something like that to the Bills, who's a top 10 defense, is weird to me. Josh Allen against Miami is one of his best games, like throughout all past 3 years. They don't make him punt. He punted one time yesterday, 350 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Miami's defense is trash. Everybody loved Miami because they figured Vic Fangio was going to make that defense better. Vic Fangio has not done nothing for the defense. The defense is exactly the same. Stephon Diggs went off against this same defense again for 3 years in a row. It should never have been a thing that you just thought Miami was about to roll them. It's the first 3 weeks of the season. Everything looks good in the first 3 weeks. Miami has played bad defenses. Like, that's just the bottom story. Like, they played bad defenses, and they dominated. The Bills aren't a bad defense. They're not a bad team. They're still a top 5 team in this league.
I kind of want to say
we remember this and we go on through the season. But I already know the next time Josh Allen has a bad game and he throws a pick and fumbles twice, they're just going to say, see, look, Josh Allen, yada, yada, yada. And then they're going to go on and they're going to roll off another 5 wins and they're going to forget about it until he does it again. Like, it's a long season. Things are going to happen. Nobody plays a perfect game. Patrick Mahomes just played bad against the Jets. Yeah, he won, but he played demonstrably bad. Playing tough defenses, that happens to you. Like, let's get over it and then go on to the next game. It's a week-by-week league.
Okay, so I kind of want to go back to you, Q. So we saw what he did against the Broncos. We saw what he did against the Chargers. He played pretty well against the Patriots too. Do you think that I myself and people out there, do you think that we overrated Tua? And he didn't. And I want to add, he didn't have a bad game against the Bills. But would you say that going into this year, like in the beginning of the year, has Tua been overrated?
To an extent, because it's not like you haven't seen this before. Last year, you've seen the same thing in the start. Barring concussions and everything, they started off great. They weren't winning games. They were undefeated with Tua till a team schemed them up, messed up their timing, and made them look vulnerable. Same thing now. It just happened a lot earlier than it did last year. Last year, it took about till like when they played the Chargers, week 7, week 8. It took them until week 8 to have a team disrupt their offense. Now they faced them early, and look what happened. They faced a team that was a top 10 defense and basically a top 10 offense in one player damn near by himself, and they looked how they always looked against them. Like, it's no problem for the Bills to run up yards on the Dolphins or any team for that matter. The thing that stopped the Bills from beating them usually or beating them by a lot is red zone execution. This year, red zone execution. If you notice, the Bills they're playing a more balanced attack. Josh Allen isn't doing everything. It may look like it from the stats, but he isn't doing everything. They're running the ball a lot better, and they're playing very good complementary football. That's all you. That's a good team. That's all a good team needs to win. You don't have to rely on the quarterback to do everything. And from previous years, Josh Allen was just doing everything. So you just have to live and die with whatever he did. Now it's looking like he doesn't have to do a lot. He's taking check downs. He's taking what he gives them. For the last 3 weeks, he's been playing smart football. And we know he can play smart football. We just harp on the 1 to 3 times out of the year that he plays very, very bad. But Tua is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He was doing what he's doing last year until he faces a team that disrupts their defense. I mean, their offense. And look how he looked. You could say he didn't play bad, but he didn't play great, or he didn't play like the previous 3 weeks. Interception that was uncharacteristic. Like, he took a shot that he didn't have to take. And like I said, the Bill defense were going to get after him. Tua was going to get knocked around, and that's what happened. Like, the O-line is still an issue also. Like, they have 2 big weaknesses, and better teams are going to exploit those weaknesses.
Okay, so Latif, I saw that you're about to interject. So before you get into it, just talk about how you felt about the game, and then get into Tua overreaction or whatever you feel about it.
I mean, I picked the Bills to win the game. I told you this. They had no chance of stopping Josh Allen. I knew this coming in. But I didn't know that they were gonna get their ass whooped. This was an ass whooping. Like, they got their ass handed to them clearly, 48-20. It was a beatdown. I picked the Bills to win, but not like this. This was for me. It was eye opening. We already knew that the Dolphins had an issue on defense, but I thought they would manage that a little bit better. We already knew that the offensive line was an issue, but I thought they would manage that a little bit better. Throughout the first weeks of the season, they were getting the ball out pretty quickly. I think Tua is among the league leaders in basically getting the ball out the pocket fast. So I thought they would do that a lot more. In the beginning of the game, it was a lot of quick scores from both teams. Well, not actually. The Bills were a lot more methodical. The Dolphins were like quick scoring, getting the ball out quick, fast drives and stuff like that. I think this game just showed, honestly, this might seem premature to say, but until they fix their defense issues, I don't think that the Dolphins will be serious championship contenders, because it's teams that are more well balanced. The Chiefs have a good defense. To this point in this year, they've been a top 10 defense. And so if you're able to stop the Dolphins offense, they won't be able to stop you. I don't think the Dolphins defense is going to be able to stop the Chiefs offense. I don't think the Dolphins defense is going to be able to stop the Bills or the Ravens for that matter. And so until maybe some of the chance of Jalen Ramsey get back. I mean, he's a top 3 corner in the game, so maybe he'll have a large impact, but that's asking a lot for someone that just came off of injury. So my takeaway is we got to pump our brakes on the Dolphins hype. We got to pump our brakes on the Tua hype. He is still in that Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott tier. Like, he's not in that Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts. He's not in that tier. He's not that tier of quarterback.
Kirk Cousins tier.
Yes.
Yeah, 9-13. 9-13.
Yes. He's in that tier.
Remember, going into the season, not a lot of people
had
Tua.
Who do you have Kirk Cousins at?
Kirk Cousins is like in between like 10 and 12, honestly.
Yeah, there's a group of quarterbacks that fluctuate year to year between Matt Stafford, Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, now Tua. Before it was Derek Carr, but Derek Carr took a fall off. Though they're all fluctuating from 9-13 based on what they did that year. It's hard.
Those are quarterbacks. My bad. Those are quarterbacks that need close to perfect situations in order for you to get them a championship. Those are quarterbacks that need high level weapons in order to produce at this level. Like, if you put Kirk Cousins in his Dolphins offense, he will be doing the exact same thing. I don't think it would be too much different. We see what he's doing with Justin Jefferson on the Vikings with a terrible offense line, with a terrible defense. He's putting up great numbers. If you put him in his Dolphins offense, he probably would be even better. Like, so when we talk about these quarterbacks with Tua, we got to stop ignoring their situations and put them in the conversations they shouldn't be in. So the question was, is Tua becoming a little bit overrated this season based on all the talk? For some people, yes. He's becoming a little bit overrated because he's not that top 7.
Dynamic. He's not that dynamic.
He's not a top 7 quarterback. He's not.
He'll
put up numbers. He'll give you. Go ahead.
Out of the first four games, I would say that this is his worst game by far. But this wasn't even a bad game. This is something I want to add. Did you have more to say, or can we get into what Max was
We can get to with
take?
Max, but he might like he might have a top 7 statistical year where he put up a whole bunch of yards, great completion percentage. But when we talk about quarterbacks, we just can't put him in that different conversation. That's not him.
All right, Max.
In my picks, whatever my picks of the week, I picked the Bills for this one too. I picked the Bills to win the division. What Q was saying earlier, like a lot of people overrate them. Yeah, we cannot forget about who Buffalo is and their track record, just based off a playoff game in Cincinnati. I'm not worried about the Bills. The Bills have shown they can make the playoffs. They can win the division. So the other teams, the teams to worry about, the teams you have to, keep track of, or kind of ride the roller coaster with, because you got the ups and downs of Miami. Obviously, we've seen last year too. My big thing is though, I'm with Latif. I didn't think it was going to be this ugly. I thought Miami was at least going to be able to hold true. I thought it was going to be a shootout of sorts. I thought it was going to be maybe a 10-point game, maybe a 14-point game if you're crazy. But I was saying whoever had the ball last was probably going to be the one to win. And I don't know. I guess maybe I underrated the Bills' defense. I don't know. I think the Miami offense is good. I get they played bad teams. I think they do have a solid offense. Like, let's not forget that. But the Bills' defense is good. I just think the Bills have played the Dolphins, that similar Dolphins team. When Tyreek Hill go there last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah,
last year. And they won by like.
I was going to say, you got –
say?
What's up?
Nah, Jaden, you got something to say before I say what I'm about to say?
Oh yeah. But Max, was that it?
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, I think you got – whatever. You got a year of playing against this team. So I think them, the Jets, the Patriots, obviously get more trial and error against the same offenses. But, yeah, that Bills defense looked legit, looked real. The injury, though, is not great. The injury to Tre'Davious White is not great, obviously. But they do have a lot of guys on that defense who can hold the fort down, obviously with the safeties and the front
Micah
seven.
Hyde get injured too?
Nah,
I didn't think it was serious. I thought a couple guys went down, but I thought Tre'Davious White was the only one for like the Achilles or whatever.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I'm pronouncing his. Is his name a chain? His last name a chain?
It's a chain or a chain. I don't really know, but yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want to say it wrong. First off, I want to say I also did have the Bills winning this game. But again, I thought it would be closer. I thought that the Dolphins could relatively be sort of something like the Kings in basketball. Just a high power offense to where the offense is going to keep them in games. Of course, losing Jalen Ramsey, that hurts big time. But when you get him back, that's somebody who can take a side away on the field. So I feel like when Jalen Ramsey comes back, everything will be fine. Now, of course, this is the best defense that Tua has seen throughout these 4 games. But I think that they'll be fine. Only thing that is a big question mark with this team is the defense. When you have weapons like a chain, you have weapons like Tyreek, Waddle. Tua, again, this wasn't his best game so far this season. I think they'll be fine. Only thing that you have to focus on is defense. But I feel like once Jalen Ramsey gets back, that fixes a lot of their problems. So I wouldn't be too worried. Are we overrating Tua as of right now? I can admit I probably did go off the limb a little bit in the first 3 games, but
You think so?
I still think that I still think he'll have an MVP caliber season. Again, this was the best defense that he's faced so far. I see us bouncing back, not us. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Just with all the weapons that he has, like I still see an MVP caliber type season.
Now, to the whole last year, the games was close. If you look at the box score, if you watch the games, again, Buffalo goes up and down the field on them. The reason why the game was close and they lost was strictly because red zone execution. Every single drive that the Bills had ended in the red zone, whether they scored or not. Last year, the first game of the season, they lost 21-19. For 5 straight red zone trips, they went for it on 4th down, and they didn't convert on any of them. If they just convert on 3 of them, it's a 10-point win. It's not a issue that the Bills can't score on them or that Miami's lighting them up, because Miami didn't light them up. They scored 21 points, similar to what they scored on Sunday. because they can get stopped by the Bills. Tyreek Hill also historically doesn't go off against the Bills, whether he's with Tua or Patrick Mahomes. It just doesn't happen. The defense and Sean McDermott now calling this defense, he's looking like one of the best defensive coaches in the league right now. The Bills just have their number. It's a division thing. It's a personnel thing. It's whatever you want to say about it. They just have their number. The red zone execution killed them. Today, they had basically perfect red zone execution. That doesn't mean they're going to have it in week 12 or 13 when they face them again. But they're going to get to the red zone every single time. It's just up to them to do what they have to do.
They also it was also a close game in a playoff game where that wasn't the case, where they barely beat a two-less Dolphins team, and that one was because of boneheaded mistakes by Josh Allen. So you get 3 instances.
It's always going to be one of 2 reasons. It's always going to be one of 2.
So at some point you got at some point you're going into a game predicting it. Then predicting a close game, I don't think it's crazy, just because the last 3 times we've seen them play, it was a close game. So whether it was red zone problems, and in the second game it was kind of close too. I think
for the same exact reasons, and you can't. I watch Bills games all the time. Whatever y'all want to say, I watch this.
I watched all 3 matches last year. I'm telling you.
And if you came to a different conclusion than me, you're not being genuine at all. Like, you're just not. And if you want to go,
I don't have to come to the same conclusion as you. I'm saying that if I went into the game,
it ain't really accurate.
Just because my conclusion, your conclusion is different, that don't mean it's not accurate. 1 and 2. I'm not saying that we didn't come to the same conclusion, right? My thing was coming into this game, I picked the Bills. I thought it would be closer. I am saying that I didn't think the game would be a 20-point blowout because of the last 3 meetings. Whether that case was Josh Allen mistakes or red zone struggles, that can be formulated again because we've seen it happen 3 times. One of those 2 issues. So predicting it happen a 4th time, I don't think that is crazy because we've seen Josh Allen get careless. We've seen the Bills have red zone struggles. So for me to assume that may happen again in the game, I don't think that's crazy.
But you're trying to equate that to a Dolphins thing, him doing against the Dolphins, instead of it just being a Bills Josh Allen situation. It could have that same thing happened to multiple other things. It's not a Dolphins thing at all. Defensively, the Bills treat the Dolphins the same. They do the Dolphins the same. They're not scoring like that, and it's going to look sloppy on the offense for the Dolphins. Whether Josh Allen or the red zone was not looking good, that's just them. It has nothing to do with the Dolphins at all. That's my point. It's not a Dolphins thing at all. Like, take the Dolphins out of the equation. If the 3 games last year was against the Patriots, it would have been the same situation. It wouldn't have been the Patriots is making them look bad. It's just Josh Allen is doing bonehead mistakes, and it's erratic. You don't know when it's going to happen, but it will happen. It just happened against the Dolphins. It's not a Dolphins thing. For me to think historically, when they're blowing out the Dolphins, that they can do it again, it's perfectly pleasable. It has nothing to do with the Dolphins doing anything to them. It's mostly internal. It has nothing to do with the Dolphins at all. That's my whole thing. It's not the Dolphins. Get it out your head that the Dolphins is what is making it a close game. It's just Josh Allen in the red zone thing, which shit like that happens to against other teams like all the time.
All right. Well, I'm going. He's now 1-5. Tua is now 1-5 versus the Dolphins. I'm trying to see what the Bills. I mean, what were the scores though? Because the first matchup against him in 2021, he played pretty well. I would say he had 361 yards, and they
there's like a 50. There's like a 51-0 game in there. There's like a 36-12 game in there. There's a
with Tua.
I'm saying against the Dolphins in general, but it's hard to say because the first year to Tua is more like the roster just wasn't good. Like the offensive pieces on the Dolphins just weren't good, so it's hard to just judge them. Like if you want to base them just on the Mike McDaniel, Tyreek Hill Dolphins, like that iteration of it, yeah, it's gonna look cool because they only been together for this year and last year. So it's gonna be the numbers are gonna look crazy. But historically, the defense has pretty much been the same. Like the same defensive pieces that's been on the Dolphins been there basically the whole time Josh Allen's been playing them. And he's usually killing them. Like it's not even a tool, he's just usually killing the Dolphins defense.
I don't got enough time to look up the stories, but it's here or there. That's not something we got to really debate about. But yeah.
And into the next topic.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. This is kind kind of near and dear to me. Not well, that's kind of crazy to say. Giants dropped 1-3, and I know a lot of conversation has been on Daniel Jones because he hasn't been looking too great. I believe in the offseason he reached a 4-year, 160 million extension. Me and Q were kind of going off about this earlier. So I would start with him, but since I already started with him last time, I think I should just hand it off to somebody else. How do you feel, Max?
I'll take it. Yeah, I don't got much to say. I think I don't know. Daniel Jones last year was kind of an anomaly, right? Like I think he played well, but I don't think the money he got was 100% worth it, right? I do think there are better quarterbacks in there. There's a lot of people who are quick to blame Daniel Jones, and there's a lot of people who are trying to stop that and blame the O-line. I've seen a lot of stuff about the O-line, the pressure that's getting to him, the time that he does not have. Neither here nor there. Both have to be better. I'm sorry. If you pay him more money, you either pay him more money and address the O-line, or you don't pay him the money. I don't think it makes sense to pay someone the money and not address the O-line. The Giants stink. We know that. I think, they've only been leading for 19 seconds. You guys see that? They've only, held a lead for something for,
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that was, the Arizona game.
Yeah. So, they stink.
Yeah.
On primetime games, they're getting outscored. I saw that stat, by 50 or 60. They're not a good football team right now. The defense is not looking good. Saquon's out. They don't have much going for them. I think that money could have been used somewhere else. I think drafting quarterback this year would have been fine. I don't know. I don't think they were a great team last year. They snuck in the playoffs. They beat the Vikings. I think the Vikings were a fake team last year. We see that now. I don't think they needed to go all in on a quarterback right now. Obviously, they thought they did, but yeah.
My question is you.
Okay, I kind of want to.
My bad. My question is to you, Max. When you say that money could have gone somewhere else, you do know that the franchise tag was going to be about $32 million. I think would have left them with about. I'm sorry.
You're saying on Daniel Jones?
Yes, it was about $30-something million. Probably leave about $8 million. I don't know how much you think that's going to get you. But honestly, they were just in a bad situation. I don't think Daniel Jones deserved this money. I just think it was wrong to commit to him for long term. I know they have a way to get out of this deal in about 2 years, but through his career, Daniel Jones had not shown anything. He had one good season, and not even good for real. One decent season, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, because Brian Dable managed him to a T. He wasn't able to. He just kept him on a straight line. You dump it off, you hand the ball to Saquon. He made it really, really easy for him. We know what Brian Dable was able to do with quarterbacks. I don't think they should have committed to Daniel Jones because he's an average quarterback. He's just average. He's not terrible. He's not good. He's just plain average. And so to be paying him $40 million for at least a couple more seasons is going to bite you in the butt. But when you really boil it down, how many options do they really have? The only thing they really could have done was franchise tag him, but you had to pay Saquon a little something. They didn't have really many options. They were really tied. Their hands were tied because Daniel Jones had not shown much. So they didn't know where to extend him. They didn't know where to franchise tag him. I think they should have elected to franchise tag him. But in reality, the Giants team wasn't good last year. They just won a lot of one-score games. They had an easy schedule. Saquon was amazing. But they were always going to be trash this year because they're harder to schedule. The roster is not that good. So this was not a surprise to me. We all had them. I think everybody had them falling back this year. Honestly.
Go ahead, Jaden.
Oh yeah, so I kind of wanted to just get into Daniel Jones a little bit. I feel like 160 mil. That was a little bit crazy. I was expecting something like 120, 130-ish. I think we discussed this when he first got that deal. So that was a little crazy, but I do think that he did deserve to get paid, even though 160 was crazy. You saw what he did last year. Again, I will reiterate. The offense was Daniel Jones, Saquon, and not the offense. That sounds crazy. The reason why they got to the playoffs was because Daniel Jones, Saquon, and Brian Dable. I don't want to take anything away from Dable. So I don't understand why. Again, Daniel Jones isn't playing good, obviously, but I do believe that he deserved this money. Maybe 160 is a little bit crazy, but I don't want to go off the hinge and say that he didn't deserve the money. Especially, I think what really guaranteed him getting the money. What game was it where he threw for 300, rushed for damn near 100? What game was that?
Against the Vikings, who the trash defense, we know.
Yeah, but I do think that he deserves money. Again, 160 is crazy, but Q can get into it.
Before I get into it, are we only paying quarterbacks off of one season? That's what we doing?
I mean,
Wait, I saw you looking like kind of crazy when I was talking. I want to know what that was about.
Nah, I was like, that was more like in agreement, like
Okay, all right.
Because I never heard that people deserve money off of one good season, and it wasn't even a very good season. They just made the playoffs. Daniel Jones had only two great games last year, and it was against the same team who just happened to have a very bad defense that everybody was throwing on. Everybody.
that's what I mean, though. Like their playoff success. Again, Brian Dable was a huge part of that. I don't want to discredit him, but their playoffs.
He's about 60% of that. You could give 30% of that to Saquon. I'm not paying Daniel Jones for getting babysit. He got babysat the whole season. He threw 15 touchdowns. I'm not paying $40 million to a quarterback that threw 15 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey could probably pay quarterback and throw 15 touchdowns. Derrick Henry got half amount of touchdowns as him, and he's not even a quarterback, bro. It's just what they should have did was franchise tag him. Whatever that does for you, cap-wise, you deal with it. You throw Daniel Jones out there, force him to play quarterback properly. Open up the playbook and see if he can actually throw the ball. If it fails, you get out earlier than 2 years from now, and you have one of the best quarterback classes coming in right now. Like, you got Caleb Williams, and if you can't even get your hands on Caleb Williams, you could try to look at Michael Penix, Drake May, Quinn Ewers, whoever you want. Start it over. You got 5 years to build a roster around them and see what you got. And you could get off Daniel Jones. You could get off Daniel Jones right now. Trade him to Atlanta. Let him go to Atlanta and see what he can do with Arthur Smith or something.
I've been saying that. I've been saying that. I don't know. That would be idiotic. That would be idiotic of the Falcons. Wow. Like terrible.
They also have an opportunity to go get a quarterback. But you know what I'm saying? My main point is get Daniel Jones out of it. You don't need Daniel Jones. He didn't deserve the money. $40 million for a person, I
don't think anyone's going to pay him that money. Huh? I don't think anyone's going to pay him that money. They're stuck with him because I don't think anyone's going to pay him that.
Nobody. He shouldn't have got it in the first.
So Q, do you think what type of money would you be satisfied of him getting? Because 160 is crazy. I think we all can agree with that.
He's getting $40 million a year. Let's see.
The $40 million not even the problem. The $40 million not the problem. It's the length of the contract is the problem.
Yes.
The committing to Daniel Jones long term is the problem.
Yeah.
You can suck it up for 1 year.
Even if it was a 3-year deal, a Kirk Cousins 3-year deal, I still am not giving him $40 million a year. I need that number to be around 28 to 32. That's where that number need to be because I know for a fact I gotta pay Saquon and I gotta give at least $15 million to a wide receiver. Like I have to have a top receiver. They don't have that. They went out and got Darren Waller thinking it was gonna work. You gotta remember somebody has to throw the ball to Darren Waller. If your quarterback can't really throw the ball, how is these weapons gonna eat? And I get it, they don't have the greatest weapons, but I've seen Matt Ryan make it work with a little bit with Paris Campbell. I've seen Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz make it work with Paris Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Those aren't the greatest of quarterbacks. You got to at least know how to throw the ball. He can't throw the ball. He's basically a running back too in that offense, and he's actually throw minimal amount of times. And when he throws the ball, you see what happens. Like
quarterback franchise tag is $32 million. So that's what they would have gave him. They wouldn't have to commit to for 1 more year. You could actually, like you said, evaluate the quarterback, open up the playbook, see what he is. Because in all honesty, this is not completely on Daniel Jones. The offensive line sucks. The weapons are not good. The defense is meh.
That's all true. But like you,
let me finish. You already know what I'm gonna say.
All right.
If you're paying a quarterback $40 million, he needs to be able to elevate that, and he is not elevating. So if you're gonna give a quarterback $40 million, you're giving $40 million to really like they're getting like 50, but to like Justin Herbert, Burrow,
top 10
Trevor Lawrence, top 10 guys that can elevate their teams. Daniel Jones is not that. So it's like as close as it can get to a fact that they should have never given him that money. He shouldn't have got a long-term contract at all. So you don't get a long-term contract off of one playoff win and 3 prior years of being trash. That's not how it works. Because Baker Mayfield did not get that. Who we should probably talk about later. But Baker Mayfield did not get that. And he had shown for at least a few seasons that he could be a competent quarterback and led a franchise who had not been into the playoffs in so long to a playoff win against an actual decent opponent in the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And almost beat the Chiefs.
And almost beat the Chiefs. And he got kicked to the curb.
Yeah,
that's double standard. No, he really didn't. It was all right. It was all right. It was no crazy weapons.
He had limping Jarvis Landry. OBJ was out, and they had Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb and Saquon pretty comparable. There's a couple spot difference, but you talk Jarvis Landry wasn't no world beater at all.
At all. I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, bro. We got off that pretty quickly. So yeah, they just dropped to 1-3. So we'll see how that unfolds.
Season over.
Yeah, they gotta wrap it up.
Season's over. Nah, I think what did Dable do? He threw like a clipboard or something. That was crazy.
They still want to play Philly twice. They got to play Dallas one more time. Like they're in a tough.
They face Miami and Buffalo in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah,
they're gonna be 1-5.
I'm cool on that.
Commanders gonna beat them too. Sam Howell going 400 yards on them.
Okay,
I know that.
All right, Bears go 28-7 lead to Broncos. Me personally, I won't be speaking on it too much because I will be dropping an episode of Bear Witness. Last week it didn't come out because I was very busy, a lot of stuff going on. But I will be recording a video and then putting it out this week, so I won't have too much to say. Just saving that for the video. But Bears blow lead 28-7. I know Max is, besides me, is probably the biggest Bears fan, like actual Bears fan, not just Justin Fields related. So Max, let me know how you feel.
What do you mean by that?
I just know you're a Justin Fields guy. I wouldn't say you're a Bears.
Yeah. Go ahead, Max. Let me hear it.
Yeah, it's over. Every ounce of hope I thought I had was lost. It was funny to me. Patrick Mahomes and Justin Fields, right? 2 opposite days. Well, Justin Fields arguably had the best game of his career in the clutch. Didn't end up panning out. Couldn't extend a drive. Play calls, you can blame it on whatever you want. The pick at the end was not good. The fumble, whatever you want, crumbled at the end. Mahomes had the worst game of his career. When it mattered, he balled out. He got the 2 first downs. You can blame the PI call. It's all you want, whatever. But he balled out when they needed him, when they needed to win the game. I get it. Stats are great. Stats or whatever, but you got to win the game in those close moments. And it's just too many times now. I'm not blaming the entire loss on Fields. It's not. Our defense let up 21 unanswered. That's not good against – it's not a bad offense, but it's obviously not great.
21 answer is on the part of the offense as well, to be fair.
I mean, I get it, but if we can't put a stop out, you know what I'm saying? I get it. We're supposed to score after scoring 28, but I don't know. We couldn't extend drives in the fourth. When they scored that second touchdown, something kind of seemed like it was up. I was not really comfortable in the position anymore. I don't know what this is. People saying sell the team. I don't even know what that's going to do. It just needs a whole change of everything. Coaching hire, sure. Quarterback change, sure. I don't even know what I want anymore. This team is this was probably the biggest blow we could have. I think it's a very good chance that we win a game the rest of the year. I don't even know that. These were 4 games, so I think we should have won at least 2. Haven't looked good in any of them. Justin Fields did play great, but just when it mattered, just came up short. So he played great. I'm sorry. He played great. I'm not going to – fumble stinks. The fumble hurts. The pick, you could blame Komet. I don't know if he ran the right route. I was kind of confused what was happening there. But, yeah, like I said, you got – those are the moments where it's a good quarterback and a great quarterback. Mahomes showed up, and I'm not trying to talk about the Chiefs-Jets, but Mahomes showed up. He played terrible. His 2 picks were horrible, right? Was not having a good game at all, but he made 2 amazing runs, used his feet, got creative, and won the game. And Fields just didn't pan out that way. So, I don't know. I don't even know if I could really talk about the Bears the rest of the season. There's really nothing else to talk about.
I was just about to say, are we going to talk about them every week? Because I feel like they hit a new low every week. Yeah.
This is the end of the Bears talk. And strictly for this, through 3 quarters, Justin Fields was doing everything. Like, they had a game plan. They was executing. Things were going right. He was looking like, as advertised. He was throwing the ball, running, play calling was fine, and they had a lead. The last 3 drives were very bad. So that's obviously the thing that you see the last is going to be what sticks out more. Going forward on 4th down, and I understand it's not all a coaching thing because you still got to go out there and execute. But going forward on 4th down, instead of kicking the field goal, makes it look a lot worse because now it really falls on Justin Fields because it ended with him not doing something great. If they go and kick the field goal and they go up 31-28, now it's if your defense lets you down and they let up a score, you don't have to harp too much on Justin Fields. Yeah, he had a bad, like I said, the last 3 drives weren't great, but he got him a lead, got him at the end of the game. Defense let you down. You're not going to say too much on Justin Fields. Remember, you're still going to say something, but not too much. And you talk about that defense. But now, mess it up, make it look even worse than it already is. It's right now, they just should be looking forward to the draft. This is one of those games, like with the Deshaun Watson 300-yard game. See what he did well and try to capitalize on that. But it doesn't even make no sense to even try to capitalize on that anymore because the season is basically over.
You can call me crazy, but the capitalizing on this is trading Fields, showing that Fields can do well. I don't think they'll trade him, but like that's the only way to capitalize on value or something is like Fields played great. Everyone saw what Fields can do. Bad defense or not, Fields has not shown this kind of game. Like he showed that he can play football today. I get it. You can say it's a bad defense. That's fine. But I don't know. I don't think we're going to trade him midseason, but that'd be the only way to like capitalize, I think, on value is try and trade Fields to Atlanta, as you talked about, or New York, someone, you know what I'm saying? Something like that, where you could try and just chip him out.
I don't want him in New York. Just like damn near
I don't think it's gonna happen. And to be honest, I don't even know if I want it to happen. But I think like that's there's only one. First of all, you can't go anywhere but up from here, right? We are at the lowest of the low. But that's the only thing I could see happening, like to change or whatever, come away from this week, and they're not gonna trade him. So I don't know. It's kind of just that kind of wrapped up the season for me.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I'm glad we all in agreement. So this is. I don't know about Jaden, but I'm gonna wish you good luck on your Bears win this video because I don't know how you're gonna go through every single week of the season watching this and then find something else different to talk about because I feel like you're gonna get to a point where you're just saying the same stuff.
It's not 100% true because you do got guys to look forward to. It's not like we're gonna trade our entire team, right? Like
who?
Like
it's
Roshan?
It's literally. I don't think it's a single bright spot on this entire team. I don't think it was.
I don't even think it's a roster problem. I think the problem more is like
the roster. I'm not gonna lie. Our offensive roster is not bad. If you put an O-line up there, our offensive roster is solid. We have a good running back core. Tight ends are solid. Receivers are okay.
They need a clean house. Most GM coach combinations only get it 3 years. On average, you get 3 years to prove it.
Yeah, Poles that too. Poles that too, I think.
Y'all want to fire Poles too?
No, I don't want to fire Poles. I like Poles. I like Ryan.
Poles has made some moves. He probably,
he made some bad moves. He made some bad moves.
Okay, I can think of one. I can think of one.
Outside of not taking Jalen Carter, it hasn't been bad moves.
Claypool was bad. Claypool's bad.
Claypool's the one bad move I can think.
But you understand the reason why he did it. He literally just wanted to get a weapon. He just chose the wrong weapon. Like that's just, he was going off what you.
I feel like that's very obvious that was the wrong weapon. Besides what Claypool's like rookie season, you could say you haven't really seen too much. And then there's a reason why. What did you say?
I'd be cool to cut Claypool.
They're cutting him already. He getting traded or one of them.
Yeah, he's gone.
Did Poles bring in Eberflus or no?
Yes.
Did he bring in Gessie?
Yes.
Oh, that's 2 more bad moves. Both of them suck. I don't know what to tell you. Especially Eberflus.
We have a defensive-minded coach who can't coach defense.
Ryan Poles was good before that. Like at his other stops, he wasn't like the main reason for things, but he was the catalyst. When he was with the Chiefs, a lot of things were brought to his attention, and he stamped a lot of moves for the Chiefs before he, went around and came to the Bears. So it's like he came from a good organization. Like we know that he could make moves. He tried to push the envelope when he tried to get something done. He just pushed the wrong buttons. Things happen.
The best thing that he did. the best thing he kind of did was trade the number 1 overall pick, honestly. And I see people have said that was an overpay, or that the
Bryce Young wasn't going to fix this. Bryce Young would have looked worse. He would have looked exactly how he's looking now, bro. Bryce Young wasn't changing his roster. Bryce Young wasn't going to look good with this roster.
Oh no! I think the Panthers might have overpaid. Honestly, Panthers might overpaid.
Yes.
My bad.
I can't hear
you, Max.
We might get 2 top
10. No, the Bears won the trade.
Yeah,
I saw one thing.
The Bears won the trade.
I saw one thing. Whatever, crazy. The Steelers. Have you seen stuff about this? The Steelers look like they might let go of Tomlin. Am I crazy to say hiring Tomlin would be great?
You need
hiring Tomlin would be.
Offensive head coach is always the way to go, especially when you have a young quarterback. Yeah. I don't think offensive head coach is ever going to be the way to go.
I get you. I just think
I thought Tomlin was more like a leader of men.
But he's a defensive guy.
Tomlin just gets results though. Like no matter who's on the field, Tomlin gets results, and that's like the one thing we need.
He gets mid.
He's mediocrity. Mediocrity doesn't mean you get results. It's like the Steelers and the Vikings are in the same boat. The good organizations that just get by, they're good enough to look like something, but not bad enough to get top quarterbacks or top talent in the draft. So they're always going to be stuck where they're at.
And Pittsburgh can draft well at the what Coward was saying. He trade everything.
They draft wide receiver and they draft linebacker very well.
Yes.
They don't draft quarterback because they're never going to be bad enough to get a top quarterback. And Mike Tomlin already said, I don't want to be bad enough to get a top quarterback, but you have to.
And I don't even know, thinking wise, you got to think outside the box, right? Because in 2020 vision, right? Why did we not hire Mike McDaniel? You know what I'm saying? Mike McDaniel and Justin Fields would be so much fun. Why? You know what I'm saying? 2020 vision.
Would it?
Who is that next guy who's going to be the catalyst for this next offense?
We don't have the weapons like that.
That's
2020.
You can end this
on Detroit. You're saying?
Yeah, he only came back for a year. If you end this, if you come around and start next season, at the draft, you have Ben.
I don't think we fire him. Unfortunately, I do not think we fire Eberflus.
Listen, you got to make tough decisions.
Yes, they will.
Eberflus needs to be gone. He needs to be gone.
They're gonna fire him.
Just think about that.
So
Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., and you got DJ Moore on the other side.
We need to sign. We need to sign one more offensive lineman. We need more offensive line too. I'm sorry, we cannot have Caleb Williams behind our offensive line.
You got 10 draft picks basically in the top 5 rounds.
Make it happen. The past 2 years though.
Yeah, we got a lot of draft picks. I saw something.
Injuries. Everybody gets injured on our line.
I saw something the other day. I can bring it up right now, but it was just talking about basically just talking about Justin Fields' performance. I believe all Bears fans are willing to say that this wasn't his fault. I think everybody could say that wasn't his fault. Again, the pick, the fumble, it did look bad, but I would say it wasn't his fault. Eberflus, Getsy, they just turned stupid out of nowhere. But anyways, I saw something where they were saying just off of this promising performance that they wanted to keep Justin Fields, draft Marvin Harrison at the number 1 pick, and then Lilly. I think Max had the depth for something. Draft Marvin Harrison with the number 1 pick, and then just get fill out your O-line with all the other picks. That's what I saw. But I don't think that's I don't think that's the direction that they'll be going in. I think Caleb would. I think Justin Fields is maybe over with. Yeah, I think Caleb Williams is the goal right now. But we can.
I don't know, bro. I want last thing. I just want to. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a game to look forward to next week against the Commanders. Though I think they should be able to compete in that game. Definitely should be able to compete in the game against the Commanders.
We should have won this game. Broncos have the worst defense, and we somehow lost that. I
think the Commanders will win, but the Bears should be able to compete a little bit. But hopefully Sam Howell lights y'all up. Hopefully, I'm still behind my boy Sam Howell.
Let's head into CJ Stroud. I'm pretty high on CJ Stroud. Tiff, you already know what I'm about to say, but let me bring up the game stats. So the Texans beat the Steelers 30-6. How do you guys feel about that? CJ Stroud leading the pack.
I originally was lobbying for CJ Stroud to be the number 1 pick. I was saying it the whole time. And not because Bryce Young was Go ahead. Run it back in the Discord. Run it back on my Twitter.
I was just playing.
You did.
I was just playing, bro.
I put that.
Let me go look there. Go ahead.
CJ Stroud should be the number one pick. Or I thought he should have been. With Frank Reich, at the time, I thought DJ Moore was still going to be there. Who knew? Offensive line was an issue. Defense kind of was an issue. But it's not like CJ Stroud's not going through the same thing right now in the Houston Texans. He literally is on his 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th O-lineman. Weapons aren't a household name. Defense is still patchwork. Secondary been injured. They should be getting blown out, but they're not. CJ Stroud, I don't think he's thrown an interception yet. And if he has, he probably threw one. But I don't think he threw a pick yet. Pretty much been good to very good every single game. And he's looking like he's going to be there for the next couple years. Like, he's showing out. There was the whole little test thing during the draft where, like, it tests, like, whether quarterbacks could process fast enough. He was dead last in that test, and everybody was basically trying to say he was stupid or this, that, and third. He wasn't a great processor. Clearly, he's a great processor. Clearly, he knows how to throw the ball, when to throw the ball, and how to throw the ball. I just think the basketball on grass, Steph Curry stigma that Bryce Young was given just propelled people to say he's like the can't miss processor. You got to take Bryce Young. You got to take Bryce Young. Size obviously was going to be an issue. CJ Stroud, he has basically damn near perfect measurables for a quarterback. Like, he plays the quarterback the right way, and he can move. If he ends his career or he ends up being Jared Goff with a little bit more mobility, you're looking basically damn near top 10 quarterback, and that's enough.
Or Geno Smith. Geno Smith last year for his entire career.
If he could do that, that's fine. As long as you build the roster around him, good enough pieces, he should be fine.
I have high hopes for CJ Stroud. I know you said like top 10 in the grand scheme of things. I feel like CJ Stroud has top 5 potential just off of his intangibles. First off, he's a rookie as of right now. And then you said about picks. He hasn't thrown. I don't think he's thrown a pick. Like you said, 300 yards again. And then he has weapons like Tank Dell, Nico Collins, which they're good players as of right now. But he is a rookie, and he just shows me great intangibles, great arm strength, great ball placement. So if he just progresses, I feel like CJ Stroud can be a top 5 quarterback one day in the league. One day. I'm not saying soon, but I feel like he has those intangibles.
Is one day 12 years from now?
Realistically, I would probably say, because you got people like Mahomes, Josh Allen, all those type of people. So Burrow, I would probably say like in the next 6 years. That's my time span.
So you think in 5 years he's going to be better than Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams,
Jalen Hurts, Tua,
Lamar Jackson. That's 9. That's 9 guys I named in 5 years.
Out of those guys that you named, I would say Jalen Hurts, Tua.
That we had 7. And he's not going to be better than Jalen Hurts no time soon. I'm not even going to lie to you.
5 or 6 years?
We're talking about 22, 23, 24-year-olds, bro.
That's true.
You got to think about it. Quarterbacks they're not out the league at 32, 33. Most quarterbacks are going to play till like about 40.
But I'm factoring in just the weapons that he has as of right now and what he's doing right now in his rookie season. It's like I feel like if he progresses, and then we're comparing Jalen Hurts, who has way better weapons, I would say. And we're looking at it right now in the grand scheme of things. This is me just making a projection, just going off the intangibles, the things that I see as of right now.
Hey.
Where would you say? I know you said top 10, but like, where would you say like, where would you say?
He's gonna be in that for a while. He's gonna be in in the immediate future, like 2-3 years. He's gonna be in that 9 to 14, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Matt Stafford type of range too. Like he's gonna be in that range for a while. Because like I said earlier, that top 8 is kind of hard to crack. And then it's not like those are old quarterbacks. Everybody in the top 10 are about 28 and younger. And quarterbacks played at about 40. Patrick Mahomes is probably going to be the best quarterback in the league for the next 12 years. Caleb Williams might come in and be a top 7 quarterback like after his rookie year, depending on the situation and where he goes. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, we're talking about younger guys. Like Jalen Hurts just got on the scene. Lamar Jackson, he's 26. Like these quarterbacks aren't old. And they might just they might just get better. They also might get better weapons as time progresses. Wide receivers come out, things change. It's just going to be hard to crack those.
But Jalen Hurts is like a top 8, top 7 quarterback. And as I've said, I think Jalen Hurts. We kind of thrusted him into that as of right now because Jalen Hurts just looks regular to me.
I haven't, but I'm not gonna fight every day because I'm not a one season type of person. Like as you see, I don't go off of one season or half a season to just project people. Like Jalen Hurts had one great year. There's nothing like it's a Cooper Kupp situation. You only seen Cooper Kupp have one great year. You never seen him do it multiple times. So it's hard to just thrust people in there. But this is a what have you done for me lately league, and Jalen Hurts lately was a top 8 quarterback. So you just got to put him there for right now. But that's based on Jalen Hurts and his worth ethic and his leadership ability, his intangibles. He should just get better. He only has to make minimal improvements as a passer to just establish himself because him as a rusher and a leader of men is going to be there almost forever. Like players like Dak Prescott, he's great on the intangibles, but like the talent level is not there. But him being having that much intangibles is going to keep him in that area as long as like he minimally improves like on the small things on a day-to-day basis. So Dak Prescott's always going to be in that fight for trying to prove himself in that that 8, 9, 10 range. It's just going to be hard to crack. Like most of those players are solidified. They're just going to interchange between themselves.
For me, it's been 4 games for CJ Stroud, and it is hard pressed to name 15 quarterbacks in this league better than him. You could probably do it, but by the time we get to 15, I'm going to start arguing. I think that's how good he is. In the first 4 games, I don't think no one's had more passing yards without interception. He's been sensational. He doesn't have a good offensive line as of right now because Larry Tunsil's out. He doesn't have great weapons, and he's winning games. He's being competitive this early. I don't know about top 5 potential. That's going to be very, very hard to do. But as of right now, he is a top 15 quarterback in the NFL for me personally. I would have him over Derek Carr. Derek Carr last year was trash, and this year he doesn't look much better. So personally, it's been 4 games, might be a little bit premature, but I think CJ Stroud right now is a top 15 QB, and I don't think you can give me top 5.
Where would you put him at? Oh, my bad. Where would you put him at his peak?
Who?
Like if you were to just take a guess
10.
of where
Top
he
10.
would land, top 10.
I think he's gonna be like Geno, but like last year, like consistently though. Like last year, consistently Geno. Like, he's very good at. Like I'm not gonna lie, like as a pocket QB, he's perfect. He can make every single throw. He can read the field really well. He can get the ball out really fast. He has to come where it separates you. Like them top 5 quarterbacks. Josh Allen can send the plays outside the pocket and make any single throw. Patrick Mahomes can send the plays out the pocket and make every single throw. Justin Herbert can send the plays out of the pocket and make every single throw. Even Jalen Hurts can do that. Trevor Lawrence has the elite attainable 6'6" generational prospect. Outside the pocket, he make elite throws. His ball placement, all that is amazing. For CJ Stroud, he has a good combination of a lot of that, but he can't read like outside the pocket.
He's a rookie, by the way.
Yeah, but
that was the knock on him coming out of school.
Was doing that. That was not coming out of school though. This has been the thing with CJ Stroud where
that was the knock on him that he doesn't move out. He doesn't really make plays out the pocket, and that was
we haven't seen him handle pressure. We really haven't seen him handle pressure yet, really.
In the league, but yes. Pre-draft it was or like leading up to the the college season being over is, oh, you never seen him really move outside the pocket because it's Ohio State. It's a one read offense, yada yada yada. When you've seen him go up against a defense that gets after you, when they played Georgia, you've seen C.J. Stroud literally run all over in the backfield and make plays. So it's not like he can't do it. Like his comp was Jared Goff, but he's Jared Goff with not a lot more mobility, but a decent amount of more, like a decent amount.
That's literally Geno. That's literally Geno. That's literally Geno.
He has to get the opportunities to do that. Even now, he has the opportunity to do that because the O-line is bad, but he's just standing strong in the pocket and delivering throws and getting the ball out fast, which is no problem with that. Like, you want him to, be on par with these top guys and move around and do all the type of throws and whatnot. But there's also nothing wrong with being a Jared Goff or a Kirk Cousins, standing in the pocket, delivering the throws, perfect ball placement, hitting all the throws, ins, outs, slants, posts. He can do it. That just means you just have to make sure the roster around him is good enough that he just doesn't have to do too much, because he's doing enough right now that if you gave him the better weapons and better line, it might look a lot better, like a lot better. But they in the right direction. He's doing what he needs to do, and he only could go nowhere but up. Like, he's gonna grow exponentially right now.
All right, so that kind of wraps that up. So we can just hop into would you rather for CJ Stroud. We brought up some names, like kind of ranking him as of right now. I know Latif, you said top 15, so we're just gonna go deeper into that, see who you would have over him or not. Well, y'all know how would you rather goes. So with the first would you rather? Would you rather
introduce it for me?
Would you rather CJ Stroud or Derek Carr?
CJ Stroud.
Yeah,
you said who?
You said that. What?
Hold on. You said who?
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
Wait, hold on. Was it audible? Can you hear him, or was it just me?
I think we said it.
I think we said it at the same time. Redo that. I think we said it at the same time.
All right. Would you rather CJ Stroud or Derek Carr?
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
All right. Would you rather CJ Stroud or Russell Wilson?
I'm going
CJ
Russ.
Stroud. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Russ as of right now?
Russ hasn't played bad.
He hasn't. But Russ is washed.
I'll go CJ Stroud. I'll go CJ Stroud.
You've seen Russ be better. You've seen Russ be actually good more than you've seen him be bad. You've seen Russ be bad for one season. You've seen that's it. Like, you only seen Russ be bad for one season.
To be honest, I feel like they're pretty comparable.
Huh?
They're pretty comparable as of right now. Not great weapons around them. Just doing what they got to do. The thing is, the Broncos aren't winning.
Yeah, that's the thing. CJ Stroud's actually winning games, and he's putting up amazing stats. I'm gonna go CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I'm gonna go CJ Stroud on this one. CJ Stroud or Baker Mayfield?
CJ Stroud.
I love Baker. I love what we've been doing this year. I'll go CJ Stroud. I'm going
CJ Stroud, but I swear I thought we had a Baker topic, but I guess not.
Baker got weapons. Yeah, good weapons.
Did we not have a Baker topic, or am I tweaking?
We didn't put it in there.
Okay, cool. CJ Stroud or let me start. Would you rather CJ Stroud or Brock Purdy? I know where Q is going.
CJ Stroud. And this is not no Brock Purdy slander. Like, CJ Stroud just is been the better prospect, and he played only 1 year. If you put CJ Stroud in that offense, he probably looks either as good as Brock Purdy or better.
I thought Brock Purdy was going to be a Pro Bowler, bro.
He probably will. He's putting up great numbers right now. Like,
that's what I thought that's you were going to go with Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree. I feel like if CJ Stroud was in the offense, he would be putting up amazing numbers too. It's not hard to do that in Shanahan's system. I'm gonna go CJ Stroud.
I'm just going go against y'all. I'm say Brock Purdy.
Okay. I mean, because Shanahan loves pocket passes too, so you would imagine, like, CJ Stroud is his arm talent is a lot better than Brock Purdy's.
Alrighty. Heading into the last topic. We do this every week, and we're gonna continue doing this every week. We got the Week 5 power rankings. We're just gonna put them together as a group, and then say the names in order. So
I got my top 8 already. After that it kind of get murky a little bit. There's been a lot of moves, a lot of people with bad losses and bad showings, and a whole bunch of stuff. This NFL year has been really weird. A lot of roster moves. The Bengals suck. They look trash. So for me, at number 1, it's still the 49ers. They have not moved. Until they lose, they probably won't move. And they dominated the Cardinals last week. So
yeah, you got to go San Fran number 1. That's going to be like that for a while. Maybe it depends on what happens this week, but based off history, they should beat the Cowboys.
Who they play? Cowboys? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's looking like they're going to have that spot for like the next 5 weeks.
All right, at 2, I got the Bills making a big jump. I got the Bills at 2. A statement win against Miami. They whooped their ass, and we just had Dolphins at 2. Ever since week 1, when they struggled against the Jets, they have been dominating every single opponent. This is a high quality win. I got the Bills at 2. Does anybody got disagreements?
No.
All right. At number 3, I got the Eagles. They are 4-0, but they have not looked good for one single week yet. Just struggled. My boy Sam Howell put 300 yards on them. So
like Eagles have to be number 2.
You said what?
I feel like Eagles have to be number 2
because they haven't lost.
Yeah,
but they haven't looked good.
Only fair.
They haven't looked good, and the Bills have put 3 dominant wins in a row.
That's true, but they haven't played up to the standard of football that we know that they can play up to, and they still haven't lost yet. So I feel like that says something.
Power rankings are like the college football rankings. You can be undefeated and not be the number 1 or number 2 team. It's many instances where a team that has 2 losses is ahead of an undefeated team because of how they look. If they don't look good, they're probably not better than the team that's looked a lot better. The Bills have looked a lot better than the Eagles. Like, that's just it. Like, their point differential is the second best in the league, only behind San Fran. Like, they just look better than everybody. They're rolling people. Nobody's putting up, as of right now, I don't know if anybody's putting up 30 points against the Bills. The Washington Commanders put up 30 points on the Eagles. Washington Commanders versus the Bills were scoreless through 3 and almost a half quarters. They just haven't looked good. Like that.
Sam Howell, he's coming. He's coming, man. He's coming. So I tell y'all, he is coming.
One loss record too serious. Like, it's not the standings. Like,
this is not the standings. No, it is not. At 3, you got the Eagles 4-0. They handled business in overtime. They got bailed out. That was completion on 4th and 5. Sam Howell threw a dot to Terry McLaurin. They called it out. That was not out. They bailed him out. That would have been a huge upset and a huge. We would have been talking about Sam Howell today if they would have won that game. I guarantee you that, because I gotta put some respect on his name. But anyways, at 4, I have the Chiefs. Struggle with the Jets. They have 2 games where they didn't look good this season, and they did lose to the Lions.
Hey, give Zach Wilson his credit, bro.
Best game of his career.
His credit.
He was cool.
I also want to add. I knew Garrett Wilson was like that, bro, but that kid is amazing. Like,
I would like to say though, if Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback of this team, they would be a contender. I feel like
it would be totally different. It would be totally different.
We seen it again, week 1. We seen it week 1. We seen it now again. They can hang with teams to their amazing defense. And now you add Aaron Rodgers in that mix, they would be a contender.
Their defense wasn't really hanging with Cowboys.
I mean, brother. Yeah, that's true. I can't. There's no. They played. They didn't play as good as they could. What are you gonna say, something, Q? Because I know you were talking about missing the playoffs and all this other shit before the season. Do you have any thoughts on that, or are you gonna stick by that?
Yes, the Jets are gonna miss the playoffs.
No, not now. Not now. I was talking about if they would have Aaron Rodgers. You think? Because we see how
I thought they were gonna miss the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers. So without Aaron Rodgers,
no, obviously, I'm sorry. Now that
you don't think they'll miss the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers?
Yes, I didn't have to go back. I did not have him as a playoff team.
Okay, now my question is to you that now that we've seen them without Aaron Rodgers, and we see that they're 1-3, but they're not as bad as a 1-3 team. You see how bad Zach Wilson has been playing, and that they're hanging with the Chiefs and they're hanging with the Bills. Did that change your views on them making playoffs at all? Especially with the Bengals looking this bad, especially with the Chargers being who the Chargers are.
It's still a thing. Like when I had him missing the playoffs, it wasn't because I had him winning 5 games with Aaron Rodgers. I just thought the level of talent in the AFC itself, like I thought they could be 10-7 and still miss the playoffs. But that was with the Bengals being who they are, with my MVP pick and Super Bowl team, Ravens being who they are. That's 2 teams that I thought would have those spots. I thought the Bills were going to win a division, which I think they still will. So that already takes out a spot. So I already thought the Jets were going to be fighting for a wild card spot already. You know what I'm saying?
But you would have had them making it now, knowing what the Bills.
Well, no, because there's still problems with the
Bengals though. The Bengals are trash.
All right, you take away one team. Let's take away the Bengals. They're still fighting with 4 other teams for 3 spots.
They would have been at least a 7th seed with the Bengals going. Because you got
maybe. I can't really do hypotheticals because like I said, he may not have gotten injured week 1, but the O-line is still bad. So who's to say he doesn't get injured week 5 or week 7 or week 10? Like
I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers playing the entire season. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers playing the entire season.
But we don't know if they would have played the entire season. You're making a hypothetical.
That was the point of the hypothetical.
All right, let's get into the other teams.
I'm saying if Aaron Rodgers would have played, but we can't know. We don't got to argue about the Jets. At 5, I have the Dolphins. Their defense played terrible. Yeah, they was from 2 to 5.
They dropped like 3 spots. 3 spots.
That's fine, right? That's cool.
Yeah,
rightfully so.
6,
I would say
6. We got the Cowboys. Just because it was between the Cowboys and the Ravens, and the Cowboys have looked more dominant in more games than the Ravens have. So they both have 1 loss. I'm going to give it to the Cowboys, even though they lost to the Cardinals. I'm going to put the Cowboys at 6.
Ravens here.
That should be the answer.
No,
Cowboys at 6.
The Cowboys at 6 and the Ravens at 7.
I don't have any complaints with that.
Number 8, and this is where is the Lions.
Lions look good, bro. I don't have a problem with this.
I'm not mad at it. Like I said, I would put the Seahawks there because they both look pretty much almost the same between the Seahawks and the Lions. But based off the head-to-head matchup, this is the Seahawks 1. I'd have the Seahawks.
Never mind. You're right. We can put the Seahawks at 8. Seahawks 8, and then Lions 9 makes it a little bit easier.
I like that.
Now, number 10 is where it gets tricky because some teams have been looking good. Like some 2-2 teams have been looking better than they should. I mean, not better than they should, but like it's a fight for that 10 spot.
I'm about to look up. So
I'd probably go to Rams.
They won this week. Who they play?
That's not a bad team.
They beat the Colts.
Yeah,
They beat the Colts.
But I wouldn't be opposed to hear. Huh?
To the Bucks.
This is actually a good amount of teams.
Are the Bucks 3-1?
Bucks are 3-1.
Yeah, I can hear an argument for the Bucks.
And they beat the Steelers, right? Or no? They beat the
Bucks.
Saints. They beat the Saints.
A good defense.
I'm fine with putting the Bucks at the 10. I'm fine with Baker Mayfield, man. Hey, bring it to the top 10. Hey, comeback player of the year, man. That's all I gotta say.
Let's relax.
Are you gonna say the names, or do you want me to say them?
You said it. It's my turn, bro. So, is it not my turn, or is it?
I just asked the question. It doesn't matter.
I'll say it. All right, our top 10 teams going into Week 5. At number 10, we have the Buccaneers. At number 9, we have the Lions. At number 8, we have the Seahawks. At number 7, we have the Ravens. At number 6, we have the Cowboys. At number 5, we have the Dolphins. At number 4, we have the Chiefs. At number 3, we have the Eagles. At number 2, we have the Bills. And at number 1, we have the 49ers.
Good list.
All right. Yeah, that's a pretty good list. I don't have too many complaints about it. Again, this was the 53rd episode of the Next Man Up podcast. Stay tuned for the Bear Witness episode. I should be dropping that probably around like tomorrow, Thursday, something like that. I'm just pretty busy these days. I didn't expect me to be this busy, but hey, that's life. Uh, Again, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't followed all the socials, make sure you do that. Why haven't you done it if you haven't done it already? But I appreciate y'all for rocking with us. We're just gonna continue growing, keep putting out content, stuff like that. So yeah, appreciate it. And yeah.
Gone.